Welcome, everybody. I'm Kathy Widener, art instructor and Christian life coach, and I'm so glad you're watching. Please take a moment to subscribe and share this with your friends. I have a heart to encourage, and I thought I'd start off by telling you a little bit about what I've been through so you would recognize hope and you would really know that God can restore all the years the locusts have stolen. I'll share only part of my life story, then I'll share what God has done in my life and what He's doing. God will take your brokenness and make you new again. I'm going to share Isaiah 61, 1 through 4 in the NIV, and I want you to listen to it like a prophecy, which it is. We are still being blessed by the words of God and the power of His Spirit. The Spirit of the Sovereign Lord is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to proclaim good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim freedom for the captives, to release from darkness for the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn and provide for those who grieve in Zion, to bestow on them a crown of beauty instead of ashes, the oil of joy instead of mourning, and a garment of praise instead of a spirit of despair. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of His splendor. They will rebuild the ancient ruins and restore the places long devastated. They will renew the ruined cities that have been devastated for generations. Strangers will shepherd your flocks. Foreigners will work your fields and vineyards, and you will be called priests of the Lord. You will be named ministers of our God. You will feed on the wealth of nations, and in their riches you will boast. Instead of your shame, you will receive a double portion, and instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. And you will inherit a double portion in your land, and everlasting joy will be yours. God is for you and wants to bring healing and wholeness to your life. I want the fullness of Christ, don't you? So this is just a snippet of my life, and kind of like a photo doesn't do justice to a vacation, it's the same for my story. This is some of what the last 8 years alone has been like. I was awake in the middle of the night again for the 100th time to loud noises that interrupted my sleep and my peace. My special needs client who lived in our home and who we had provided 24/7 support to did what they call vocal stemming, making loud noises whenever, even in the middle of the night. He was very noisy. He stayed for 5 years, disrupting our nights and days. I also had an additional client with special needs for about 6 months total, both living in our home. The days were heavy with work. I was cooking meals, cleaning, of course, and providing the medication reminders and doctor visits that they needed, and some personal care. Later, we cut back to one client, which was much more manageable and, trust me, peaceful. And I was living in Iowa because of my husband's work, far away from my 2 girls, and part of that time, my daughter had some serious health struggles, which thankfully are resolved now, but it was really hard to be away from her during that time. So I had the 2 clients, 2 dogs, and our youngest of 4 children was still home for a bit, all while my husband was diagnosed with stage 3 colorectal cancer. He went through treatments and procedures for years, sometimes weekly doctor visits, and occasional ER ones. After caregiving for him and seeing his decline, he ended up hospitalized, then under hospice care an hour away until he lost his battle. Mind you, I was still working daily, although I did take my client to respite during the day at times so I could be with my husband. My family and I each went through grief and buried his ashes in our little Iowan town. We had a small memorial service graveside for close family. It was, I'm sure, just what he would have wanted. Then came my job change, my business startup, downsizing, and my out-of-state move, settling temporarily into my sister-in-law's home, putting some of my things in storage, and deciding it was time to branch off on my own again. I moved into a new apartment only to have to pick up and move again because my peace was being challenged, severely challenged, from my extremely and intentionally noisy neighbor who would stomp around above me at all hours. So you can say I've been through some highly stressful circumstances. Just a couple of months after my husband passed, and after I went through grief counseling, God started working on my spirit more deeply, revealing more and more truths to me. I really thought I was okay, but I still had a lot of healing that needed to be done. He continued, and he continues to heal me. Through all the times my peace was disrupted, he would teach me, he would strengthen me, he would show me how to respond and how not to respond. He was restoring me. It definitely wasn't easy, not at all. He was doing something amazing, which I can now see. While still in Iowa, God told me to start an art school, so I started pursuing this path. I was already teaching children and adults in my home on and off for many years and incorporating scripture with it. From that, I founded Master Art Now Academy, and I started something that was downloaded directly from God to bring women into a greater place of healing. Little by little, God would download more and more pieces of the puzzle that I began to turn into an art program called Awaken Art and Paint Your Path to Peace. It took years waiting and listening to him, and it definitely is transformative. I am a personal coach and a prayer partner infusing sessions with scripture. I lead art instruction online while empowering women to calm racing thoughts, break anxiety cycles, and reclaim their life through my creative breakthrough method. The clients that I have worked with have received transformation while learning art. So let me take a moment to ask you to reflect on what you're feeling right now. Do you feel like your life is broken? Are you full of anxiety? Is it interrupting your work, your sleep? Is it getting in the way of your family life, stealing your peace, your joy? Are you aware that women are almost twice as likely to have anxiety disorders than men? And when left untreated, anxiety interferes with sleep, contributes to brain fog and depression, and puts people at a greater risk for hypertension and heart attacks, etc. So why art, and why combine it with scripture? It's incredibly powerful to combine the two because art has a way of quieting your mind, and of course God has a solution to get us all out of our problems, even anxiety. You might be wondering what the art portion is about. I demonstrate the art portion right alongside of my clients, so they learn how to start a picture, learn various drawing techniques, proportion, value, color theory, how to paint, etc. There are 3 modules, so it depends which module you sign up for. Media used is graphite, water-soluble graphite, charcoal, and acrylics. I truly want to help. I've already helped women get their breakthrough. You can read about that on my website, masterartnow.com. So if you know that you need this or someone you know needs this, schedule your complimentary call and we'll start by having a conversation. I would love to help you get the breakthrough you've been wanting. The link for scheduling that free call is below. Thank you.